What is up, guys? It is Logan here from Geeks of the West. What up? The PS4 is getting laid left and right, and the Xbox One can't even get it up. No, just kidding. But Fallout 4 runs slightly better on the PS4 with Xbox One stutter reported. A stutter just like I did just now. Was a slight stutter, which is just like the article. Fan fucking tastic. A Digital Foundry article which examples. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. I can't read. A Digital Foundry article which examines how smoothly Bethesda's latest open world Epic runs on home consoles suggested that both systems run under 1080p, usually at 30 frames per second, with VSync enabled. However, the analysis also claimed what the Xbox One version that has a tangible disadvantage due to an occasional stutter issue that appears to be linked to problems with the console pulling data from the hard drive at speed. Internal playthroughs at GameSpot would suggest this graphical stammer is not frequent, but not avoidable either. Holy shit, this just proves right off the bat that the PlayStation 4 is 50 times better than the Xbox One, and you should just not waste your money on the Xbox One. Why even buy it? Because its graphic capabilities are just so far behind. Yeah. You know for a fact that many fanboys are going to sit there and say, hey, look, this is proof that the PlayStation 4 is just so much better. Unfortunately, it's an unavoidable fact that we will see fanboys cling on to this. I haven't really seen too much of a fanboy audience, but that's simply because I don't watch the same videos I used to when the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 were out. See, the thing is I grew up with friends who would just constantly diss on the PlayStation 3. And it was a while before I finally made friends who played the PlayStation 3. Because this was at the not at the beginning, but at the time where not a lot of people owned a PlayStation 3, at least for the most part. It wasn't until high school that, for me personally, that the PlayStation 3 started outselling the Xbox 360. Nonetheless, they would always talk shit about the PlayStation 3. So this made me actually want to look up information and try to open my mind. And the thing is I honestly come from a more open-minded basis. I'm not saying that to put myself ahead of other people. I'm just saying that because it's the way I am. Because when I hear something, I don't respond to my emotions like a lot of other people do. And I know, like, me saying that personally like isn't the same as somebody else saying that or having some sort of actual factoid or some sort of statistic nonetheless, but it, I genuinely believe I'm open-minded. So I looked up information about the PS3 versus Xbox 360, and the PlayStation had better specs, and the reason, or the things that it did lack capability in, there was explanations for why it lacked capability in said object or said standpoint or a specific thing that it might have lacked in, and for the most part it was the games that it had or the amount of games that it had and some graphical discrepancies. But then they give an explanation, and I was like, wow, that actually makes sense. Like the architecture was just so complicated. It was hard for people to develop games for it, and it turned a lot of developers off. So I mean there's more detail in that example than I gave credit for, but it's true nonetheless. Whether or not you're a fanboy, listen, I have a PlayStation 3 and I have an Xbox 360 now, and I love both of them. I also have a PC, which is what I'm playing Call of Duty Black Ops 3 on. So I don't know. I hate fanboys. And I think this article should be taken with a grain of salt because it is a little too soon to tell. Because listen, sometimes you just get a faulty game or a faulty console. How they did the tests, I don't know how they did the test specifically. Um, they didn't really explain in the article about how they did this analysis, how many Xbox 360 consoles they used, how many Fallout 4 copies they used. Because listen, on the PS3, my friend and I both love Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. His PlayStation 3, and he every PlayStation 3 model is almost exactly the same, except for the fact that they slim it down a little bit. Other than that, it's the same hardware and it runs the same thing. Just maybe a heater, the size and the way they organize some components might be a little bit different. Other than that, it's basically the same with the same type of hardware. Modern Warfare 2 would not load on my console for some reason, and this was when we lived in the same apartment complex, so we had the same internet, paid the exact same for internet and cable. Anyway, back onto the story. My Modern Warfare 2 would not load, and I would not be able to connect to any sort of game without my PlayStation 3 freezing. He was able to connect no problem. Our discs had no scratches on them. We took care of our Modern Warfare 2. That was our baby. That was our gold. Modern Warfare 3, every time we tried playing survival mode, his PlayStation 3 would freeze or his internet would just lag out. Now you could probably be like, oh, well, that's a problem with the internet. But why, when we had the same internet and the same copy of the game, supposedly, why would his lag out and mine wouldn't? Why? I don't understand that. I mean, of course, it could be a factor with the internet, but that's the thing. Listen, what if it's a factor with GameSpot's internet? No, that's stupid. Single player. No, but that just goes on to prove that there's so many factors, and it's not necessarily the Xbox One. I think more information is needed. This is just bad A plus B equals C science. It should be A plus B plus C plus D equals answer science or probable answer. Because listen, we like to take things and say, look, because of this, there's a slight connection because of this, and it somehow correlates and causes this. Even though it'll say A plus B is the cause of this, or because A happens, B happens. Or because A plus B, it means that D happens, which isn't how science should be. It should say, okay, we know A happens, and we know C happens, but how is B connected to it? Is B the cause of it? Is B the side effect of A? Or is the combination of A and B the cause? Does that make sense? We know that fires are caused and burn down houses. Fuck, I don't even know. I can't even come up with an analogy right now. I'm almost running out of time here. But you want to say that every man is sexist because a couple men do it, would you? No. You want to say that men are sexist because they are men. No, you would say that men being sexist is only possible because these men are being sexist. Because you want to say a man being sexist is a woman being sexist. So that would be your A, that a man is sexist. Does that mean every man is sexist? No. So you can't say that B or that A equals C, that every man is sexist. But what you can find out is why this man is sexist. That is just a slight example. There's so many examples. Probably more analogies that actually are more coherent with what I said than this one I just said. This just came out, from the top of my head. I haven't paused this video in the last freaking 7 minutes, so I am talking from the top of my head, and I'm giving you my genuine feelings on this. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. Have a good one.